The courtroom windows flooded the hall with harsh midday sunlight as 29-year-old Rayan Qureshi stood alone at the defense table, his hands trembling against a stack of custody documents that seemed heavier than bricks. Across the room, officials whispered and shuffled papers that could decide whether he would lose the only family he had left, his 5-year-old daughter, Meher. Rayan's worn-out shirt carried faint grease stains from the auto repair shop where he worked double shifts, and his tired eyes revealed sleepless nights spent packing lunchboxes, braiding messy ponytails, and learning bedtime stories by heart. Today, he wasn't just fighting for custody. He was fighting to prove that love didn't come with a perfect salary or spotless reputation. If you believe that kindness and second chances can change lives, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Life Spark Stories, because stories like this remind us how powerful compassion can truly be. Rayan's life had shattered 2 years earlier when his wife passed away after a sudden illness, leaving him to raise Meher alone. Friends and relatives initially praised his determination, but support slowly turned into judgment when he struggled to balance work and parenting. The local child welfare office received anonymous complaints suggesting he was unfit, citing his long working hours and modest living conditions. Social workers began visiting frequently, noting every chipped plate, every mismatched school uniform, and every moment Meher arrived at school with slightly untidy hair. Despite these observations, they could never ignore the drawings she proudly showed her teachers, each filled with bright suns, smiling stick figures, and the consistent presence of a tall figure labeled as her hero. The investigation escalated when Meher fainted during a school assembly under the blazing daytime sun. Though doctors confirmed mild dehydration and exhaustion from a seasonal flu, authorities interpreted it as neglect. The case rapidly moved to court, and Rayan found himself drowning in legal paperwork he barely understood. His employer allowed flexible hours, but reduced pay meant choosing between legal fees and grocery bills. He sold his late wife's jewelry to hire a modest lawyer, clinging to the belief that truth would eventually shine brighter than suspicion. The courtroom atmosphere grew tense as expert testimonies outlined his financial instability and demanding job schedule. Officials presented photographs of his small apartment, pointing out peeling paint and outdated furniture. Rayan listened quietly, his heart pounding as he replayed memories of rushing home every afternoon to cook simple meals, helping with homework, and falling asleep beside Meher after long bedtime routines. The sunlight streaming through the windows made dust particles shimmer like tiny witnesses to his silent prayers. Just when the hearing seemed to lean against him, the heavy courtroom doors opened, allowing a sharply dressed man in his early 40s to step inside, his chest decorated with military medals that glinted under the afternoon light. His name was Colonel Armin Haider, a decorated soldier known for humanitarian rescue missions during natural disasters. He had been seated quietly among the observers, but now approached the stand after receiving permission to testify as a character witness. Colonel Haider revealed that during flood relief operations months earlier, he had met Rayan volunteering at an emergency vehicle repair station without compensation. He described how Rayan worked tirelessly through scorching daylight hours, fixing stranded rescue vans while Meher sat nearby, handing water bottles to exhausted soldiers and drawing cheerful pictures for injured civilians. He explained that he had personally observed Rayan decline payment, insisting that helping families reach safety mattered more than money. The colonel also presented photographs showing Rayan teaching Meher basic first aid, highlighting the environment of responsibility and compassion he cultivated. The courtroom atmosphere shifted as the colonel emphasized that discipline, sacrifice, and love were not measured by wealth or perfection, but by consistency and heart. He described seeing Meher run toward her father after each repair job, her laughter echoing across flooded streets brightened by harsh daylight reflections. The judge studied the photographs carefully, while murmurs of reconsideration spread among officials who had previously doubted him. Medical reports confirming Meher's strong emotional bond with her father were re-examined. Teachers testified about her academic improvement and cheerful personality. The judge finally acknowledged that while Rayan's life was far from luxurious, it demonstrated stability, dedication, and emotional security for his child. As the ruling granted him full custody, Rayan's shoulders collapsed with relief, tears streaming freely under the courtroom's bright daylight, symbolizing a new beginning rather than an ending. In the weeks that followed, local community members rallied around Rayan and Meher, offering support, childcare assistance, and renovation help for their apartment. The once judging neighbors became protectors of their fragile happiness. The colonel occasionally visited, mentoring Meher and helping Rayan secure better employment opportunities through veteran support programs. Their story spread quietly across the town, inspiring others to look beyond appearances and recognize unseen sacrifices. If this story touched your heart or reminded you of someone who never gave up despite overwhelming judgment, please like, share, and comment to help spread this message of hope and compassion. Your engagement helps stories like this reach people who need them the most. Special request: comment below with the word hope if you believe love can overcome society's harshest labels.